Hi everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody and welcome to the Design by Melody YouTube channel. Today I have a process video for you using a Studio Calico kit from back in August 2017. I posted a little bit of a sneak of me using this kit and creating this layout and asked if anybody could identify where this kit came from, and nobody knew. This kit is old. I mean, relatively thinking of things, it's only like 3 years old, but when you think about it, or 2.5 years rather, but when you think about it as far as scrapbooking supplies, this is super old. So I'm just pulling out all the supplies first. I still haven't even necessarily figured out which photo I'm going to use, but I am working in my family history album today. And I have been totally loving using my Life print photo printer. And it prints photos at 2x3, and it's actually on like a sticker paper, but I never used the sticker paper. I've used it before and for whatever reason ended up crinkling it and it just looked terrible. So I usually leave the backing on and just use the photos as is in my album. As I said, I don't really have much of a plan necessarily for this page, but I knew I wanted to use this kit, and I have already decided now at this point to use the photo of my dad on a pony. And this is a photo of my dad when he was probably like 3 or 4. He's quite young here. Now, my dad passed away a couple years ago, and my grandmother actually passed away since my dad passed away. And part of going through her house, there were a ton of photos that were found. So my cousin took all of the photos, scanned them in, and gave them to all the cousins on a flash drive. And so I have periodically been going through that flash drive, taking some of the photos and printing them and scrapbooking them. And it has been so much fun because a lot of these photos are photos I've never seen before, or they're photos from when like my dad, well, most of them are from when my dad was growing up. I just love seeing all these photos. Those are photos that I have rarely seen throughout my life. And I really want to make sure that I get some of those in this album. So you're going to periodically be seeing some of those photos. A lot of those photos are black and white, so it's pretty easy to identify which photos those are. But it's also just kind of fun to work with an older set of photos. This kit is a pocket-styled kit. But since I'm working in my family history album, which is actually a smash album, I don't necessarily need a pattern paper for the background because the pages are already patterned. So I am actually just using a couple of the cards, creating a couple layers behind my photo. I just put some white cardstock to create a white border around my photo. Then I cut down one pocket card with that blue kind of diamond pattern, and then I'm layering that on top of this other card that says love this. I am going to trim it down just a little bit to make it look a little bit more like a Polaroid, to kind of go along with the theme of it being a snapshot. It was a really cool stamp set that was included in this kit, and I wish I pulled my stamps out more than I actually do. When they come in kits, I tend to use them more often than when I create my own kits. When I create my own kits, I usually focus on the embellishments and the papers and the supplies, and I think a lot less about the actual stamps that I have in my stash. That's where I decided I almost trimmed off the bottom and I stopped just to kind of make it look like a tall Polaroid, and I really like the way that looks. I've stamped out a couple different stamps. I have one that says Snapshot, this moment captured, and it's actually going to be the title of this layout. And then I have another one that says let's go. And I really wanted to use that let's go, but I just couldn't get it to look right on this page, which is why you see me stamping it like 4 times. I was trying different colors of ink. I really like to use gray inks. I like to use black ink, but I feel like gray ink just adds a tiny bit of softness to a page. So I really wanted to try to make that work, but I couldn't make it work. So I put that stamped image back in with this kit so I can maybe use it on another layout since I've already stamped it out. Now, you saw me stamping things a couple times. That's because these are new stamps, obviously, and so you kind of have to season them just a little bit so that you get a clear image whenever you are cutting. I have this Monday to Sunday card that I'm trimming down just to be a smaller, it's like probably a 2 by 2.5 inch rectangle here, and I was going to layer it with this let's go and kind of talk a little bit about the fact that the ponies were a really big part of my dad's childhood. I didn't realize how long horses and ponies can live. These are ponies. These are not like big horses by any means. These are like small ponies. I didn't realize how long they can actually live until I realized that I remember some of the ponies that my dad, not the one he's on in this photo because he was quite young there, but the ones that were more from like my dad's teenage years, I remember those ponies from when I was little. They didn't live too terribly long into my lifetime, but I do have some quite a few memories of us being, maybe like 5 or 6 playing with the ponies out in the field. Decided to go ahead and stamp a third photo third stamp since I'm not going to use the Let's Go, and that stamp just says we were here. And so again, I'm kind of playing around with the idea of using the Monday to Sunday, talking about it being a part of daily life and doing my journaling. So I've stepped away from my craft desk just for a moment to type up my journaling. I'm going to read that to you while I'm typing that on the video. And it says, I'll always remember the ponies being at Mama and Papa's house. That's what we called them when I was a little girl. But as I've gone through photos of Daddy's childhood, I have found so many of Daddy as a young boy riding on the ponies. It was very much a part of his life. The ponies were part of the family as far back as he could remember. So basically at the point my dad was born till after I was born, his family had ponies, and they always had small ponies. They didn't have big horses. There are pictures of them taking the ponies through parades in their town. There are pictures of them dressing up and posing with the ponies. There are pictures of them just running around the pasture with the ponies. Like these were basically like their pets. Basically, it's kind of how it was always, how they were always viewed. We used to even braid their hair when I was younger. I wasn't that good at braiding, but my cousin was, so I would generally just talk to her while she was braiding the pony's hair. So I have quite a few fond memories myself of these ponies, and they weren't really even part of my daily life, but they were part of my dad's daily life. So I thought it would be really kind of interesting to include that in my family history album, because as we look through this album in the future, or my children look through this album in the future, they're going to see these ponies. And not many people now, especially not where we live in a city, people don't have ponies. That's not like a family pet. You don't go, oh, I just have like 3 ponies as our family pets. No, it doesn't work that way. Not in the city by any means, maybe more in the rural areas, but not in the areas that we have lived in so far. So I thought that was just an interesting story to get into this album. I have decided not to use that Monday to Sunday card and just layer my journaling on a little bit of pattern paper. It's a pattern paper that just has dots. It's got different colored dots that kind of go along with this color scheme. There's blue, there's black, and then there's that pink tones that I have on that top little tab that says noted. I did trim just a very small little piece of paper that is in a light blue tone to go behind that noted tab at the top. It kind of helps keep it grounded. And I did pull just a very few little light gray stickers from a sticker sheet that just happened to be sitting on my desk. It was not part of this collection kit, but I was able to add just a few of those stickers around this page. It's a very, very pale gray. It's just the slightest little hint. I'm adding a banner right here on top of the photo, and then I'm going to add a couple dots at the bottom of the page. So the very tiniest little detail, but I do like what it adds to the page, especially since it's a little bit more on the simple side. This is a very quick layout, especially if I were to take out the part where I journaled, but I did want to keep it in because it gave me a little bit of time to talk with you a little bit more. Now, I do want to say that I am having troubles with the links in my video descriptions, so I am going back and I am starting to do blog posts for each of the layouts that I do again. So if you have any questions about things that I have used or kits that I have used or want to see some still photos of the layout, please go over to my blog. I will be continuing to do blog posts with each of the layouts that I am creating, as well as other things that it will be on my blog. I've kind of had my blog at a transitional period, but I think I've figured out exactly what I want to do with it. I hope you guys are enjoying the process videos that I've been posting here recently. It's a little bit different than what I posted in the last couple years, but I really feel like it kind of goes along with how my scrapbooking style has changed a little bit. And I will be doing a month in review or a scrappy chat or whatever you want to call it here the next couple weeks, just to give you a couple updates of some things that have been going on and some projects that I am starting, as well as a new series as well. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project process video. And as we are nearing the end of the video here, at the very end, I will have a couple links to a couple different videos for you to look at. If you will go back, you could see the video that I posted last, as well as another video that might be interesting to you. And then make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you're notified anytime that I post new videos here to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!